One of the more mysterious and overwhelming things in a studio are accessories for the flex shaft. And I'm not kidding, there are so many. This is a small collection, and yes, this is a small collection of some of the accessories I have here in my studio. As you can see, this can be quite overwhelming because where do you start? Well, this is going to be kind of an introduction to some of these accessories, and we are going to be doing a series on how to use them, demystify them, and then also give some very practical examples. So what are we looking at here? Well, we have mounted and unmounted options. So in this case, I have different items that can then be mounted to different types of mandrels. We have mounted options which come already mounted. You don't have to do anything to that. They also don't come off. We have items that are used to do some smoothing, some that are used for texturing. We have some for texture and burr and scratch removal, and then we have everything in between. So we've got drilling, and we've got polishing, and we've got sanding, and whatever else. We even have those that are going to help shape and grind. One of the easiest ways to get started is to buy an accessory kit. Now the AK11 from Fordham comes with a lot of different machines, or it can even be purchased separately. It even comes with a rotating burr holder to hold not only the accessories that come with it, but all of those that you grow into as well. So what can you do with all of these bits and accessories? Well, that just depends on you and how creative and smart you are. And just like that accessory kit from Fordham, well, it came with a whole variety of things so that you can experiment and see what you might want to use and what you might want to purchase in the future. Now, another thing that's kind of interesting is that you can change the effect you get from a bit or a burr depending on how you hold that item. So the key here is that you need to experiment, use some creativity, and just try it out. Now, one of the things that you do need to use a little bit of material science for is when to choose what option. Now, if I'm working with, let's say, gold or brass, copper, and sterling, well, it doesn't do me any good to use a brass bit because that brass is going to be as soft as or softer than the materials that I'm using. So at that point, I would want to use something harder. So the main thing is you need to understand your materials and what you're using. A harder material requires a harder burr or a bit. A softer material requires a softer accessory. So join me over this next little while as we delve into a lot of these different accessories, and I'll show you some specific ways that I use them here in my studio. I'm very excited to go through a lot of this with you. If you guys have questions, now is the time to ask those so I can start to plan to incorporate those into the next coming up videos. Just leave them down in the comments section and I will be sure to cover those. To ensure that you don't miss anything coming up, make sure you give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so that you will know when I've got the next video up. We'll see you guys in a little bit.